Okay, this is the OSRA Scrum. This is June 11th, 2015. I'm here with Robbie. I guess, Robbie, since you were away, nothing's new from you.
Well, I mean, the only thing new is that I've been looking at that suggestion you made to hide away that complex sorting functionality. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
was uh, I was trying
Let's
to get that working.
let's talk about this just after I say that I don't have anything new for the last 2 days, and just planning to do some code review on this orphans index filter that we are
Hmm.
doing finished, and hopefully we can merge it soon. Uh, okay, so what I wanted to tell you, Robbie, is that since you're working on the sorting for the orphan, uh, while you were away, I finished the sorting for the sponsor table.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Not sure if you saw this.
I didn't know.
So what I did here, I created a method that could be also used in your sorting for the orphans.
Hmm.
And the method is, well, mm, no, not this one. Sort.
Just to get what is they're currently sorted by that method. Yeah.
No, no, wait. This one I want. This is the most important. So this is a concern in for the model. So this
Yeah.
will, yeah. So this will add a custom sort method on the model,
Hmm.
and you add the column
Hmm.
and the direction, and
Yeah.
the direction is either ASC or DESC,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and uh, it will return the ordered. Yeah, it will
Yeah.
return. Yeah, it will order by the column and direction.
Yes.
So this means that in the controller, I can do this sponsor, then of course the filters, but this is different. Then custom sort,
Hmm.
then add the column, and the column comes from the params and the direction, and then I can add a paginate on top of it.
Yeah.
And so sort by params. So sort by params is only adding the sort, the it's getting the column from the sort by params. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we have in the params we have a column and a direction, and it's inside the sort by hash.
Hmm.
So this is how it gets out to edit here in the custom sort column sort, not custom. Yes, I can't see anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is, would be nice if you could do it somehow similar, or
Yeah.
if you think you want to change something, also change it here so it's the same, some more or less.
Okay. Yeah. Let me show you what I've done then, because I'll share my screen because it's probably similar. Um, let's see. Is that? Can you? Can you?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So what I've got is similar to what you suggest, an orphan sort.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you're passing in the sort column and sort direction,
Mm-hmm.
and the sort column or sort direction are just methods that I've defined down here.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember, and the comment was to move this into a model and create a concern, right?
Yeah, so I mean, this was really just doing the the require parameters so you don't get SQL injection attacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically the columns of the orphan table plus a couple of extra ones where um, it's kind of columns that are dragged in from other tables that are put into uh, the HTML table. So for example, whenever you get the display, you have this is the orphans display. You've got the partner,
Mm-hmm.
and the partner name isn't in the orphans table.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a relation, yeah.
yeah. So it's a relation. So there's a relation there that you have to kind of
Oh, right.
call
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Got it. Yeah,
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 yeah. So I call it orphan list partner name. Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's similar as well to getting the original address province name, which is province name here again isn't in the table directly. Orphans table is kind of that relation. So that was that, and then what I did was put it into the orphan.rb model,
Mm-hmm.
and this scope here.
Yeah. Yes, given the
So
order, yeah.
yeah, so the scope, when you have a scope, then it returns this active relation, and it's it's
Yeah, the logic is the same, yeah.
the logic's the same, really. Yeah. So so yeah, I'll have a look at what you've done, and I'll try and get something that kind of matches. The I was reading up about concerns in the online on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There's um, different views about how to use concerns as far as I can see. I
Mm-hmm.
think where it's fairly clear that concerns should be used is where you've got some sort of functionality which is common to say two or three different models.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
we
yeah.
quoted things like tagging, where you can tag articles or tag something else or tag different things. If you have tagging functionality in the concerns, it can be applied to two or three different models.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing that concerns can be used for is to take some of the complexity out of the model itself. So,
Yeah.
for example, in an orphan RB, you can take this stuff out, put it in a concern, and it kind of simplifies your model. However, other people were saying, well, that's not the best thing to do because you're kind of hiding things where people don't know where to look, if you know
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
mean.
I was thinking about the same thing. It's
Yeah.
very confusing. Yeah.
So they thought, well, it doesn't actually simplify things. It kind of just puts it in a different place, and
Mm-hmm.
it's maybe not good to put it in a different place because people will find it. Because if you see something like, in your controller, if you see orphan dot something, that orphan sort, well, that must be some sort of a method or a scope on the model. So you go and say, well, let's look at the model. And then if you don't find it there, you think, what's going on here? Um, so other people were saying, well, you shouldn't really use it to cut down your model code because it really that's where it fits. It fits against the model, and hiding it away in concern is a false kind of.
Yes,
It's
I
not really
agree.
simplifying things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on all that? Have you looked into it much?
Uh, well, I didn't look in. I already thought about it, and I don't know what to say. It's just make a habit every time you see include first of all, keep all the includes at the top of the class, and once you see include, just look look what's in this module.
Okay, so if you do this, like I've got that commented out, but if
Yeah,
you put in, include that sort of thing there, then you know that that's where it's going to be.
yeah, and when you read some new code that's new to you, uh, every time you see an include, just go to this module. Where is it? Where it is, and just I don't know, see what are the methods that are added,
Mm-hmm.
because well, sometimes the module and like here it is the same name, and that's
Yeah.
easy to understand, but that's not always happening. Then yes, you said it will get confusing, but since we are using so the idea is to reuse this column sort in the sponsor and in the orphan, and we have to put it in a different module.
So um, so do you, because I'm not sure that I would be able to reuse the column sort for the orphans because of those additional fields.
Yeah, because of the relations you say. Well,
Because of the arrangement. Because if it were a simple table that all of the, what it was displaying on the form,
mm-hmm.
just the content, I think yes, you could do it. I
Yeah,
think that
well,
the
to be
problem is
honest, yeah, it's yeah, it's not. We had the same problem with the filters because it's using
yes.
there too, and the same problem with the relation for the filters also. So what we did there, yeah, so to do an order on a relation, you need to add a join, right? So if you do,
Yeah, I think I looked at that. This is where you have your where clauses, build up the where clauses through that.
yeah, you can do here, for example, joins by default it's nil, and here we do joins. Uh, okay, this is not a good name, but okay. So you can pass the join in the column sort, right?
It's not going to be as easy for me on the model to do that though.
Well, this is what I'm
For,
saying.
for the
If
for the orphan, I mean, sorry.
so, let's see where is the field. Okay, this should be renamed, not sponsor. Uh, wait, something is wrong here. So concerns sponsor filter where with conditions. 1 second. That's where with conditions. Huh. So you can see here in the where with condition. No, this is not what I wanted. I'm not in the right place.
Your where with condition was a kind of like a helper function, wasn't it, that you could reuse for different models?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
helper that is used in the filters console.
yeah.
Mhm. And well, well, conditions track. Ah, this is long.
Sure, never worry, Christian. I know that this functionality you were talking about. Um, so what proposal do is I'll tidy it up a wee bit and just put this first change up on push that through so you can have a look at it, and then we can both have a think about what's the best way to do it in a common way.
Mm,
And I'll have a look at your. Well, which table were you sorting? Was it the sponsors table?
yeah, the
Yeah,
sponsor handler. But that table didn't have relation. So I found
yeah,
what I wanted to say. So if you see here where we conditions, also this is for the filters,
yeah,
and this also accepts joins.
yeah,
You can see here. Uh, so this is the condition, the query that goes into where, like where query, like I don't know, name, like question mark, something like that. And the joins is where you add the partner or the
yeah.
relation
But
partner.
if you have a look at my screen there, you know it's not it's not just as simple as that. Because you've got if it's the original address province name, if you're getting the province name, you put and includes original address. But if it's the partner name, you have to do two includes the orphan list and the partner,
Hmm.
just because of the type of the relations.
Or you added includes.
So it took me ages to try and get those include statements right. Um, going to various questions and Stack Overflow and that, and how you do sorting via relations, and a bit of trial and error as well, I must say.
Uh-huh.
But
I don't remember, but what's the difference between joins and include? Are they
I
doing
think
the
they're
same?
pretty. I think that they're pretty similar.
Joins includes. Hmm.
I'm not exactly sure what the difference is.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I see, and I think that if you order as order columns or direction. Yeah, I'm thinking how to reuse this column
Yeah,
sort that's already created.
because because basically, I mean, if you can ignore those lines there that are highlighted, if you ignore those, it's all reusable because it's just the columns of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's fairly straightforward. But
So,
it's where you have those where you're sorting by columns that are by relations that it makes it a bit more messy.
so how about if instead of in this method that you're talking about, instead of all the order calls you are doing, you will do column sort is our method. It will work, right?
Say that again, sorry?
So instead of all the order methods that you are calling in this orphan sort.
Like this and
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Instead of those, you use our column sort and pass in the column in direction. It should be the same thing, right?
Yeah, but is it any is it any it, it seems to me that's a bit more complicated because here all you're doing is putting out an order statement that is fairly clear.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're kind of calling like another method, which is you
Well,
know
all that this method is doing it just checking that the column is passed, the and if the direction is not passed, it will set it to ASC by default. So it's not really doing much logic, just
no,
only
yeah,
checking.
because I already checked that anyway. In the orphan controller, that's what my sort direction does here. Just to prevent those SQL injection attacks, it checks that it's either ASC or DSC, and if it's not any either of those, it just sets it to ASC.
Uh-huh. Well, okay then.
Let me put this up anyway. I'll push it through. I'll tidy it up a wee bit, push it through, and then I'll have a look. I'll have a closer look at the stuff that you've done, Christian. Then we can maybe decide next week what's best to do.
Yeah,
How about that?
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you can
Um.
find some code to reuse it's great. Actually.
Yeah. Or at least a kind of like a design pattern.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, to a similar way for the different models.
And of
Uh,
course, if you think this one it's not perfect, feel free to change it.
yeah. Okay. Well let's talk again about it. I'll have a closer look. Aside from that, is there anything particular, on the list of things to do that's urgent or anything?
Urgent, no. What are the next tests that are that we'll work on are the having the integration test. As you can see here, I added this test here to add integration test for user, for orphan, for sponsorship partner.
To do some integration tests,
Yeah.
like replace some of the cucumber tests with RSpec tests?
Well, something like that. The cucumber tests are for the active admin, so we decided to use integration tests for the Rails part.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to test this like um,
Um,
create,
and
read, update, delete. Or
okay. And let me just check on the dashboard then which one that is.
and then after that, the last thing to do is to to add the CSS
Yeah.
for the page, the design. Which one is that? This one? No.
So there's a number of integration tests I can see there, like 427 and 429 and 426. Have any of the integration tests been done?
Oh, well, the ones that are in production right now and they're in development right now are here already. Integration test for the navigation menu and integration test for the sponsored product. So you can take any of these if you want.
Okay, I'll look and see what's been done there. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to get over the next week or so, but
Yeah,
at any
sure.
free
No.
time, I'll start looking at some of those. Yeah.
Now, where is that with the design? This one. Adding styling to all layers view. So this will be a big one. to add CSS to all the parts and make it look
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
wireframe.
Yeah.
And after that, we can show this to the client.
And I mean, the wireframe has actually got the main menu down the side. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which isn't so good for smaller devices because it kind of, you know,
Yeah, that's right. But if you
so it needs to kind of get minimized then on smaller devices. And
yeah, but we are using. Let me show you. We are using Bootstrap, and Bootstrap does that very easily. You can see here.
okay, so that's
See.
already sorted, is it? Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's perfect or not, but in the design part we can work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see when it's
It's
big,
not.
it shows this logout and admin, and when it's small, that's not here. For example, the logout button is not present.
Yeah. I think there'll need to be a fair wee bit of stuff done
Yeah. Also,
to
the
change.
filters are just a form after, so it has to be, I don't know, here I think, or where is it?
But even as you reduce the size, you're kind of losing some of the columns as well, aren't you?
Well, we'll have to see how to do this, so it will work on mobiles also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
yeah, it will be a challenge, and
Well.
I think this task will stronger strength the bootstrap knowledge.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Kristen, I'll have to go, but nice
Okay.
chatting to you. So hopefully get a chance to speak again next week then, but we'll have a look at those things anyway in the meantime.
Cool. Okay. Talk to you then Tuesday, I think.
Okay, all the best, Kristen. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.